All right, this is going to be an actually short video this time, rather than the 42-minute guide I put out yesterday. I'm going to go over a few updates for this build, the emphasis on the few after that patch that went out yesterday, as well as I wanted to give a thank you for the kind comments and everything on the video yesterday. I wasn't expecting it to get more than like 10 views, 9 of those being me, like rewatching it over and over, so that was really nice to see. I would like to start doing this more often, and I'm gonna start streaming as well. Right now, I only stream if like my friends ask me to, but it's something I've always enjoyed, so I wanted to start doing it more often. So I'll just flash this thing right here on the screen, and you can come visit if you would like. Other than that, we'll jump right into I say changes in quotation to the build, because here's the thing. This patch that went out, obviously, it was kind of ass. I don't think anyone really is happy about it. For this build in particular, it didn't. We're not scaling this for damage, so it didn't like brick our build. We didn't get bricked. I still am able to. I was running maps last night, just fine. My damage went down a little bit, but that's primarily because of the bug fix to. What is it? It was the infusion skills on your heralds. So this apparently was applying that 25% extra damage to your other skills, which was, of course, a bug, so fully understand them nerfing that. That's why, if you look at my video yesterday, my sheet DPS was like 22k, I think, just sitting here like this without buffs or in combat or anything. So, and it dropped to 16k. So that is definitely noticeable in maps, but I mean, again, I'm still doing more than enough damage, especially once I get buffs and everything rolling. So not a problem there. I am going to be messing around today with possibly changing out Cast on Free, since it's kind of useless right now. I do think they're going to buff it, because they made it useless. Like, it's literally pointless to use this skill, even in like maybe in like a utility setup, but to apply things like what I'm using it for, like critical weakness, it's not worth it at all. Like, it costs 60 spirit. That's insane. So the only real idea I have right now is to try elemental conflicts, but even this is like not very good because it's a lot of damage. If it's 54% more, but it's only if it happens to pick cold. So it's very situational. It's very RNG. It's like, I'm pretty sure this buff exists in Diablo 3. Like, I read this and I was like, that literally, I forget what it's called in Diablo 3, but I remember that being the case, and it was kind of unfun to like keep track of this and then have to like go crazy when you see it hit cold, and then, you know, when it switches off, you're just like, all right, cool, whatever. Other than that, it would just be a buff that sometimes would buff your damage and sometimes wouldn't, which not the funnest, not the best IMO. Other than that, I'm going to be playing around with other things to possibly socket here. I was thinking cast on crit, but then I think they hit that too. So I'm not sure. I did make a few changes. I had super critical here. But, oh, I forgot. Let me go over my staff first. I actually upgraded my staff to a fizz staff. I will say, if you saw the suffixes in my build video yesterday, I had crit chance on there, and missing it, you feel it. I need a lot more crit from other places to make this worth. I'm not gonna lie, because right now I'm only at 33%. I was almost at 50 yesterday, and you feel this a lot, especially since we're doing a lot of like on crit stuff. So I'm gonna be working on leveling today and this weekend to get more crit nodes. I said in my video, but I was originally going to go for this tree first because I actually had a decent amount of crit, but with that change, I'm going to get this entire wheel before I go anywhere else. And then I'll be looking on crit on other pieces of gear. And then in the future, when I start looking for a GG staff, it's going to have crit chance on it. So this staff right here is a 500 PDPS weapon, and it costs me around 30 exalts. If you're just starting this build, or you don't have a lot of crit chance like me, I wouldn't recommend it. I would just go with kind of what I had before if you can find it, like a big crit, big attack speed. Get as much like flat damage, and I say damage because it doesn't have to be physical, it doesn't have to be elemental, just get damage on it. all of it is pretty good for this build. So, but obviously, like GG weapon's gonna be high fizz. So because of that change, I already went over the whole crit thing, but because of that change, I took super critical out of here, which I probably should have done that earlier. It gives a lot of crit damage bonus. This cold icy wave has a higher chance to crit than the other two, which is what we're trying to get here. Like, we're scaling intelligence specifically to get this. So I was hoping that crit damage would feel good on it, but if you look right here, if I socket that in, like, my critical hit chance is already very low. If I select the icy wave, it's 36%. If I put that in, it goes down to 28. So too much of a loss for me. So I socketed in inspiration for now to help with mana issues until I get that other circle that was to the left of the crit nodes, which I guess I'll just show you. This one right here. This should help a lot with mana. As well as I'm going to look for... I did get a leech node on the staff. That was one of the other reasons I bought it. But you can get a leech mana node as well on one of your pieces of gear. I might mess around with ascendancies too. I'm going to be doing a lot of testing this weekend to improve the build. And I do think they're going to buff the trigger stuff after they destroyed it into the ground. So I'm not going to fully change yet. I might mess around with fully changing, but I won't really like commit to that being the end version of the build until I see if this is really what they intend. If they do, then I'll fully swap off and might search for like Unbound Avatar or something. Other than that, that's pretty much it this weekend. I'll be focusing on progressing my Atlas because I'm kind of behind now due to having to work, be an adult. And that video yesterday, since it was my first video, took pretty much the entire afternoon, so I lost a lot of game time. I'm still only in tier 7 maps. I'm still only level 78, so I'm going to be focusing on progressing that, getting some upgrades. My next upgrade, even though I think my other gear is worse, I want to buy kind of a closer to GG chest. Like, I'm talking like in the 50 to 70 exalt range, because it's like, so for the changes I want to do, it's going to give me more spirit to try out more stuff, and it's just going to make me a lot more tankier once I'm pushing into these red maps. So that's the plan for that. I will also be trying to improve mainly this ring because I lost the flat fire on this staff. So I need to find that elsewhere. I don't have it anywhere right now, and that significantly reduces the damage of your Tempest spell because the more ailments you inflict on it, the more damage it does. So I want to get that flat fire again somewhere. Some more crit chance, like you can get crit chance on a helmet, and etc. etc. So again, I'll be streaming as I try to figure this out and progress my character. If you want to stop by, sick, dude. If you don't, completely fine. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So, like I said, I appreciate the kind words and the audio on the video was extremely quiet. It didn't sound that way, and I actually turned it down in Vegas. Or Vega, whatever the hell that Sony application is called, because it blew my ears out when I first played it back. So I lowered it, and then I watched it back on my computer, and it sounded great. It sounded perfect. And then I uploaded it to YouTube. I go to work this morning. I open it on my phone to see how it's doing and to rewatch the video because I'm trying to see where I can improve it. And I can't hear anything. And I'm like, what the hell? So I will be upping the audio, and again, if you guys see stuff like that and you want to say something, feel free. I love constructive criticism. I will never be angry or upset. You can tell me I'm an idiot. You can call me garbage for having such low audio. I do not care. But I think that's going to wrap it up. Again, if you want to visit me on stream, twitch.tv/guacamole. I'm not a streamer. I'm not a video maker, but I would love to do this, on the side pretty consistently. So if you want to hang out, come hang out. Otherwise, have a great day.